How did this one berry change the world? First, let's go back to the beginning. The origins of this berry can be traced back to the ancient kingdom of Kaffa in Ethiopia. It is said that a goat herder named Kaldi noticed that his goats were acting strangely after eating the berries from a certain bush. They were more energetic and seemed to be in a state of heightened awareness. Kaldi, curious about the strange behavior, decided to try the berries for himself. He soon discovered the berries increased his energy as well, allowing him to stay awake and focused for long periods of time. Kaldi shared his discovery with the local monks, who were intrigued by the berries' quote unquote energizing properties. They began to use these berries to increase their energy and help them stay awake during long religious ceremonies. The monks also experimented with different methods of brewing these berries and discovered that the resulting drink had a pleasant taste and invigorating effects. But what were these mysterious berries? Coffee! That's right, coffee comes from a fruit known as the coffee cherry. Farmers peel off the outer skin of the cherry and get to the seed, which they then roast, turning it into the coffee bean you know today. As the word of these energizing properties of coffee spread, it quickly gained popularity among scholars and intellectuals who used it to stay awake while helping them study and meditate. Coffee houses soon became a popular meeting place for artists, writers, and politicians. This marked the beginning of the coffee culture and how it changed the way people interact and communicate. From the ancient kingdom of Kaffa, the coffee beans were taken to the Middle East and then Europe, where it quickly became a popular drink among the upper class. With this, the coffee trade and industry began to grow, and it played a major role in the growth of global trade. Countries like Brazil and Colombia became major producers, while coffee overall became a major export for many countries. This is how the humble discovery of a goat herder became one of the most important and widely consumed beverages in the world, and how it changed the course of history forever. The spread of coffee. As coffee spread to the Middle East, it quickly gained popularity. The coffee house soon became popular meeting places for artists, writers, and politicians. It played a key role in the rise of coffee houses, which became a hub for intellectual and artistic movements that would shape the world for centuries to come. Coffee houses in the Middle East were not just a place to drink coffee, but also a place for socializing and intellectual exchange. They were a melting pot of ideas and cultures where people from all walks of life could come together and share their thoughts and ideas. It was a place where people could discuss politics, literature, and science, and where artists could showcase their work. In addition to being a place for intellectual exchange, coffee houses were also a place for political and social change. They were a place where people could come together and organize protests and revolutions. It was a place where people would come together to challenge the status quo and demand change. The rise of coffee houses in the Middle East also had a profound impact on the world of literature and art. Many famous poets and writers, such as Rumi, Hafez, and Saadi, wrote about coffee and its role in society, and it became a central theme in their work. Poets and writers would gather in coffee houses to share their work and get feedback from their peers. In the Middle East, coffee houses were not just a place to drink coffee. They were a place of intellectual, artistic, and political exchange. They were a place where people could come together and exchange ideas, and it played a key role in shaping the world as we know it today. This berry also had earth-shattering economic effects. As coffee spread around the world, it also played a major role in the growth of global trade. Countries like Brazil and Colombia became major producers, and coffee became a major export for many countries. This led to the development of large-scale coffee farming and processing methods, which had a significant impact on the economies of many countries. The rise of coffee as a major export crop brought prosperity to many countries and allowed them to develop their economies. Coffee farming provided jobs and income for millions of people, particularly in developing countries. The coffee trade has also helped spur the growth of other industries such as transportation and banking. The growth of coffee farming has also led to the development of new technologies and techniques for the cultivation and processing. This allowed farmers to increase their yields and improve the quality of their coffee. This, in turn, increased the demand for coffee and led to the growth of the coffee industry. The coffee trade also played a significant role in the expansion of European powers, as they sought to control coffee-producing regions in order to gain a monopoly on the trade. The spread of coffee around the world and its rise as a major export crop had a profound impact on how the economies of many countries, and it continues to shape the world as we know it today. Coffee wasn't good news for everyone, though. Coffee also played a significant role in the colonial expansion of the European powers during the 18th and 19th centuries. As the demand for coffee grew, European powers such as France, Portugal, and the Netherlands sought to control coffee producing regions in order to gain a monopoly on the trade. This led to the governments forcing control of coffee producing plants in countries including Africa, Asia, and South America. During this period, the European nations forced native people to work on coffee plantations, leading to the exploitation and forced labor of millions of people. In many cases, this resulted in the displacement of native communities and the destruction of their land and culture. The forced labor on coffee plantations also resulted in the displacement of many people who were forced to move to urban areas to work in the coffee trade. The expansion for the control of coffee production also had a significant impact on the environment, as large areas of land were cleared for coffee cultivation, leading to deforestation and habitat loss for many species. The European powers also imposed their own system of governance, disrupting local economies and societies. The exploitation of native people and the destruction of their land and culture during the colonial expansion for coffee is a dark chapter in the history of coffee. It serves as a reminder of the negative impact that the pursuit of profit can have on the people and the environment. The coffee culture. In addition to its economic impact, coffee also had a major cultural impact. It's become an integral part of many cultures around the world. From the traditional Turkish coffee to the American coffee shop culture, coffee has become a symbol of community and connection. Coffee culture varies greatly from one country to another, and each culture has its own unique way of brewing, serving, and enjoying the coffee. In Turkey, for example, coffee is steeped in tradition and is often served in small cups with a glass of water on the side. It's also considered an important part of social gatherings and is often served to guests as a sign of hospitality. In Italy, coffee is an essential part of their daily life and is often enjoyed as an espresso enjoyed standing at the bar. It's also an important part of the country's culture and is considered an art form by many. In Italy, it's customary to enjoy a quick espresso or cappuccino in the morning and a longer, leisurely coffee in the afternoon. In America, coffee shops have become a staple of daily life and are popular places for socializing and working. They offer a wide variety of coffee drinks and often serve as a community hub where people can get together to connect and socialize. The American coffee shop is also an essential part of the daily routine of many people who visit them to start their day or take a break during their workday. Coffee has not only been an important part of the economic development of many countries, but it also has a deep cultural significance. From the traditional Turkish coffee to the American coffee shop culture, it's become a symbol of community and connection around the world. Coffee remains a beloved drink around the world, and its impact on history and culture is undeniable. From the humble beginnings in Ethiopia to its current status as a global phenomenon, coffee has played a major role in shaping the world as we know it today.